Hi everyone, I'm Tess from the Indian Block Print Company and I'm here today to show you how to print your own cow parsley cushion cover. Now last year we did a cow parsley tote bag project and this was so popular I wanted to do something slightly different this year and I thought it'd be really nice to try it on a cushion cover. So the equipment you're going to need for this project is your foam printing mat. So I'm using one of our large 43 by 43 centimetre foam mats and that's going to fit perfectly underneath the cushion cover. I've got my paint tray and a dry cloth for cleaning my blocks. The printing blocks I'm going to be using is the elegant cow parsley, the little seed head starburst and a leaf bunch. So just three very simple designs. I've got sponge dabbers for this project. As we're going to be doing two colour printing on the cow parsley, these come in really helpful. And then the paints I'm going to be using is So Soft, and this is in the colour Hauser light green. Now this is specifically for dark coloured fabrics, so this is the paint you want to use. And then I've got our white solid textile paint. Again, this is a paint for dark coloured fabrics, and that is how your paints are going to show up really lovely and bright on your navy cushion cover. So those are the items I'm going to be using. So I'm going to change my table around and I'll show you how to print your own cushion cover. I've ironed my navy cushion cover so it's nice and flat with no creases in it, and I've got my foam mat underneath me and a piece of paper on the inside of the cushion to stop any paint from going through. Now I've poured out a nice blob of each of my paints, so remember this is the So Soft Hauser light green and the white textile solid paint, both specifically for dark coloured fabrics. Now for this we're going to be building up a design, so initially we're just going to be using the leaf bunch and the elegant cow parsley. Now we're going to do similar to what we did on the tote bag, and we're going to do a mixture of the leaves and the cow parsleys together. So I'm going to tap the paint on, and this cushion cover is a little bit thicker than some other fabrics you may have printed before. So when you put the block down, hold it down for a few seconds longer than you normally would to allow the fabric time to absorb the paint. So I'm going to start with a row of leaves along the bottom. Now this leaf bunch is really handy because you can twist and turn it in all different directions. It's quite free flowing. So when you're printing your row of leaves at the bottom, I would suggest making sure that you always change the direction in which you're printing it compared to the last one. That will just keep the design looking a little bit more random. So you want to print as many leaf bunches as you can. And the reason I do a row of leaf bunches at the bottom of the cushion is this is where the zip is. And once you've got your pad in there, you're not going to see the very bottom. So that's why I do a nice row of the leaves. I'm going to do one more on the other side. And that's just a good base for this design. Now definitely practice this at home before you try it on a cushion cover or a bag, just to get a feel for it and see how the pattern builds up. Now I'm going to start introducing the cow parsley. So with the cow parsley I'm going to use my sponge dabbers as I'm going to be using two colours. Now tap the green all the way up to the blossom part of the design. But when you're doing this, make sure you're not being so precise you're not getting enough paint on. It's really important to always use the dabber flat, and you want a little bit of overlap between the colours so you don't have any blank space. So now the white, and that looks really nice where it starts to merge with the green and creates a paler colour. And now I'm going to turn this upside down. Again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to hold it down for a few seconds longer than I normally would to allow the fabric time to absorb the paint. There you go, that looks really lovely, and that white stands out really brightly against the navy fabric. So I'm going to do another one, and then I'm just going to build the pattern up, and I'm going to keep swapping between the cow parsley and the leaf bunch. And like I said, the good thing about the leaf bunch is you can keep twisting it and turning it so it always fits in the space. And I'm going to go just to about here. So that's probably a third of my cushion. I'm not going to go any higher than that. And then I'll stop and I'll show you where I get to. And this is my last cow parsley print. So you can see I've just done a very mixture, swapping between the cow parsley and the leaves. Now you could carry on the design further up if you wanted to. I'll show you an example of this later, but I'm going to stop here. So I'd say I've printed a third of the way up the cushion. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in my lovely little seed head starburst and my meadow dragonfly. And I'm going to do the top of the cushion with this design, just to fill in a little bit of the blank space. And then I'll show you how the finished cushion looks. So I'm just going to dot a couple of these around. And these are very little, but they just add that little bit extra to my cushion and bring the design together. So I'm just going to dot these around, and these are really good for filling in any gaps you have at the bottom of your cushion cover. Got a little one here, so you can add these in and they just blend really well into the design. Do one on this side as well. And that just fills in any gaps you might have. So I'm going to add a couple more and just scatter them around. And there is my finished cushion. So I'm going to let this properly dry, and then I can heat set it with my iron. So remember to iron it on a steam setting as hot as the fabric can handle, so I can put my iron on the hottest setting and iron this all over to ensure it gets really hot. Now I do have a few splatters of paint on the corner of my cushion where I was tapping the paint on my block over the fabric, so make sure you always do that to the side of you. But I'll let this dry and put the pad in, and I will show you how the finished cushion looks. And here is my finished cushion cover. So I put the pad inside, it's all been heat set and ready to use. And you can see these little starbursts at the top of the cover really make a big difference and bring the whole design together. Now, if you wanted to carry on going further up the cushion, you could try this design that I've printed, where I carried on the design and added more of the cow parsleys to the top of the cushion. So this is something you can really personalize and add your own touch to it. But I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope it's inspired you to try printing a cow parsley cushion cover of your own. Thanks very much for watching.